Hello, everybody. How you guys all doing? Let's see. I'm still waiting on Steve. I don't know. Let's see how late he is today. It seems to be his trend as of late. Hopefully, you guys are doing okay. I know you, Tommy, you're kind of busy right now out in the coop. Man, I hope it really doesn't get that cold like it did. What was it, a few years ago where everything froze over? Hopefully, you guys are. Hopefully, it doesn't get as bad this year. So, so this is the first live stream of 2024 for Fish Plants y Mas. Although right now it's just fish. We'd have no plants, but let's see, we have mas. I'm listening. Yeah, I know. 2020. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Hopefully this year is not like 2020. Hey, Skipper, how you doing, buddy? Muppet, thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm still. I don't know. He sent me a message, said he was ready, but I don't know. I know he's been real busy. He just got back from a trip from the Dominican Republic, so I'll send him a message. You would think he would have a reminder or a timer to let him know. Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here with us. Well, as you guys obviously were well aware, last year for us, as far as our project Fish Plants y Mas, I guess would say exceeded our expectations. To be honest, we're going on to the third year. Yeah, it's going to be our third year that we'll be doing Fish Plants y Mas. Our first year was a lot of stumbling, a lot of trying to figure out what we wanted to do with this stream, and it took us a little while to try to kind of get our footing and figure out exactly what it is that we were going to do. I mean, we always had the go or the objective that we wanted to have an educational, entertaining live stream. And a lot of the times you'll sit here and you'll plan these things out, but they don't always pan out the way you expect them to. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. Hey, Charles, thanks for being here. Uh, this has actually superseded my expectations because I was nowhere near thought I was going to be able to talk to some of the people that we've had on as guests. Um, Especially last year, towards the end of last year. I mean, that to me was incredible. Um, and to have some of the people that joined us and some of the topics that we were able to bring to you and be able to discuss, that to me was absolutely amazing. I've if you would have asked me at the beginning of 2023, and gave me a list of the people that we were going to have on the show, I don't think I would have guessed like half of the people that were there. And it really took us maybe about, I don't know, I want to say about 6 months to really hit our stride. No, probably a little bit uh, less than that. Probably about 4 months. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It took us a little bit to really hit our stride towards the end of 2023. It was one of those things where once we had kind of figured out the direction that we were going to go, because I think this all really started like in May. I was on vacation down in Mexico, and I think that was a live stream that kind of started it all for us to find our groove and really kind of uh, stamp our style live streams that we're going to do with the type of guest that we were going to have, and it seemed like finally really had a direction and a plan that we were headed in. I mean, I know Steve and I have done some topics that were kind of specific, and we were approaching some of those, and those were pretty good too. But I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been really nice to be able to have some of these guests that we've had that have had a lot more experience in certain areas, uh, and they were actually people with uh, with years of experience doing what they do, not just somebody that gets up and all of a sudden acquires a little bit of recognition on social media and then quote unquote considers himself an expert. That's not what we were dealing with. We were actually dealing with people who have been in the hobby for years, people that have kind of um, made a niche for themselves within the hobby, and hopefully 2024 is more to come of that. Um, I know of the list that we had, there was only two names off of that. Hey, good morning, Kenny. Jimmy, thank you for joining us. There was only two names on that list that we didn't get to just because I think we really ran out of time. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I really put an effort to try to reach out to them. But that was Dr. Lion's Eye. Dr. Lion's Eye, Dr. Lion. Lion's Eye is the G'day that's named after him. And the other one was a gentleman named Andrew, and I always butcher his last name, but he's also a guy that has been working a lot with G'dayets. And but maybe 2024 is the year that we're able to work something out with them and be able to bring them to the stream and have a conversation with them. But no, where my friend is at. I know he got the message. He hasn't looked at it though. Yeah, so you know, I know the title of today's stream. We didn't have a guest for this one just because it was going to be a little bit hectic, especially for Steve. This is kind of becoming a pattern for him now, and I know he's busy, but uh, I'm of the opinion if you're going to commit to something, you better commit. And I don't know where he's at or what he's doing, but I always seem to find the time and everything to be here on time. So, but yeah, so for 2024, what do I see for Fish Plants y Mas happening? Um, I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's two names on that list that we definitely want to be able to get. Hey Jeff, thanks for joining us today. Um, Other than that, it's kind of wide open. I know Steve and I have talked about um, bringing on some other people that have been really involved with the killifish. Some people that have had a lot of experience breeding killies and stuff like that. That potentially could be some of the guests that you'll start seeing here in the near future. And so we're definitely gonna strive to continue to do the type of streams that we were doing. Bringing on these guests, uh, being able to talk on a subject and allow them to share their knowledge with us. And hopefully that's what'll be coming for the near future. Uh, as far as other projects, uh, I we don't know. I know Steve has recently really gotten involved with one of the expos, um, which is Aquarium Nation Expo, I believe is the name of it. It's this was the first year that they had it in Houston. So I don't know how much of that is going to be part of what we're doing here at Fish Plants y Mas. I know one of the reasons why Steve was asked to get involved with them is precisely because some of the guests that they've had on, that that we've had on here, and the idea from what Steve was telling me for this expo is that they really want to have some quality guest speakers for the event. They're still trying to get their footing as far as what they're doing with this expo. Um, I know that the idea is to try to make it more hobby oriented. Um, that could be pretty interesting and ambitious. And what I mean by that is, the guest speakers that they bring on wouldn't necessarily be maybe names that the general public would recognize, but actually bringing on guests who have years of experience and be, willing to share that information with us. A lot of there's a lot I see that the especially like the fish clubs, they'll have on a lot of experts, on subject matter experts that'll come on and give presentations on certain topics, but they're not necessarily um very well known in social media. That's the thing, though. A lot of these people that have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, are just busy doing what they're doing, and you know that they don't have time to be posting and doing all this stuff that a lot of us do on social media. But they have tons of experience. Several years. Oh, this look who decided to join us. You're not. I hope you're not tired. You there? Oh, I guess he's not ready. He's trying to look pretty. I don't think there's enough time in this world to make him look pretty. Dude, you're off camera. You're talking, but you're we can't hear you. I don't know why you took yourself off the screen. So bring your ass up here. What did you do? Here you are.
Running a little lag today.
What, your internet?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do look a little like, turn off some of the stuff that's using your Wi-Fi so that it gets a little bit better that you're not using. Yeah, if you disconnect your phone and any other laptops or stuff like that you're not using, it'll boost the signal a little bit. Hey, Coral, thanks for joining us. Coral and Coral.
I don't know.
That's a little bit better. At least you're not freezing up. Well, spoke too soon. Oh, okay. It's the Coral is saying that it's YouTube that's having that issue. I guess some other people earlier today were.
Is it coming through now?
A little bit better. You're really pixelated.
Okay. I just sent you a thing in the thing.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Yeah, we'll see. I guess Steve's having a little bit of technical issues. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything today. It's affecting Jorge. That's through StreamYard. It's the internet, not YouTube. Otherwise, Jorge would be seeing him normal. Okay. It's not affecting me. I don't know. How's my in my end? It looks like it's okay. Now I'm starting to question. Maybe this whole time I've been sounding like a robot. I don't have anything near me that I could check to see what the feed is looking like, but Okay. So it's only Steve that's looking um like Max Hedberg. Hello, Rachel. Thank you for joining us today. You're fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it might be. He's been gone for like a couple of weeks now. So maybe he needs to restart all his stuff at his home. uh, but, anyways, as far as like I was saying, it's fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. And so, as far as some of the goals for Fish Plants y Mas in 2024, might involve some work with Aquarium Nation, especially since Steve is going to be so involved with that, and trying to gather the right kind of speakers for that event. And that's what I was saying. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. Is a lot of these people, and that was kind of one of the points that we had towards the end, was trying to get people that are not necessarily like what Steve likes to call YouTube famous, but actually people that have good information, valuable information, experience, and be able to share that information with us. And regardless of whether they're a big YouTube content creator or not, the idea is to be able to obtain the information that they have more than anything else. It's having recognition on social media is not really an indicator of necessarily knowledge. I mean, yeah, there are some people that do have a big social media presence, and they do know a lot. But there's also tons of people out there in our hobby who have been doing this for you know for over 20 years, 30 years, decades of experience, and don't necessarily um, they're not necessarily here on social media. And those are the gems that we're always looking for to be able to bring forward because of the knowledge that they have. Hey, Sal, thanks for joining us today. Jimmy, thank you so much for being here. Um, it's hopefully Steve can work his issues out. And hey, Curtis. Um, and so that's kind of the hopes for 2024 is to be able to do that. Um, hopefully, this is not an indication of what the year is going to be like with all the glitches that we're having today, because that'll be interesting. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? I see the bullseye. Loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. Yeah, but yeah, it's just hopefully, um, we continue to we're hopefully we get blessed with with what we have been doing and getting some of these people that uh that have come to us, that have accepted our invitation, not come to us, but have accepted our invitation to come up here and join us and share some of that information. And so hopefully we can pick up where we left off and continue to bring some of that that information for you guys, because one of the things that I really enjoy about doing this stream in particular, because I do my stuff on my own, and that's very different than what we were trying to do here on Fish Plants y Mas. Fish Plants y Mas, our goal from day one, from the jump, was to try to bring education, to try to bring valuable information for hobbyists who are looking to learn. We really focused on trying to make this an educational sort of stream, but at the same time, and if anybody that's known Steve for a while, it's got to be entertaining. It has to be entertaining, or else it won't. It's just going to be another just lecture, and that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that the show had a little bit of personality, a little bit of edge, And to be honest, that would not have been accomplished if it wasn't for Steve. He's the one that brings all that to the table. I just kind of go along for the ride, and I get to enjoy the experience of that. Hey, George, thanks for joining us today. I get to be on the passenger seat and be the co-pilot to this whole nutty adventure. And but without Steve, we wouldn't have Fish Plancy Mouse. I don't have nowhere near the knowledge that he has. Um, you know, yes, I've been at it for a little bit, but Steve's been at it his entire life. I started out in the late 80s, early 90s, kept fish for a little bit, but nowhere nowhere did I even really understand what I was doing at the time. I managed to keep whatever I was keeping to live. I wouldn't say they were necessarily thriving. Um, but if anything, I took some of those experiences and was able to apply them once again when I picked up on the hobby. Oh shoot, it's almost been, I don't know, it's crazy because it's almost been more than 10 years now that I think about it. I don't know where time goes. Um, but it, yeah, because we're already 2024. I think I started getting back into the hobby around 2013, somewhere in there. So yeah, it's been 10 quick years. I mean, I haven't been doing the content stuff very long. That's relatively new to me. Steve has got a lot more years under his belt um, doing doing YouTube and all that stuff. So uh, I wish he would pick up where he kind of left off, though, because if you go back and watch some of his videos, they're really good. I mean, it's um, they're very educational. You're going to learn a lot from them. And the craziest part of all of the stuff that Steve's been able to do is one of the things that I do admire from Steve is that he always seems to be ahead of the curve, um, or trends. Hey, Danny, thank you for joining us. He's and he's got the receipts for it. I know when we first started talking, I would come to him and tell him, "Hey, have you seen this video about this?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I've already done that." And I'd be like, "What do you mean you've already done it? That's the trending
Yo,
topic." Yeah, there you go. Much
okay,
better.
so fudge. Forgive me. Happy New Year. It's good to see you.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, it's 12:22. Hell, shit, that was like cool, bro. Like turn 12:23, like right then. Bro, it's destined. Man, it's good to see you, man. How are you?
Likewise. Good.
I got you a
Good.
cigar.
Ah, awesome. Thank
So
you.
I will confess it was my fault. I ill-advised mi reina when she was comprando regalos para llevar aquí. And I only got one little thing of coffee. And it's not even enough to share. Like you
Oh,
wouldn't even be able to share it. So I'm gonna
that's fine.
drink it. But I have to confess that
Oh, you're good,
it
man.
was on my conscience. So I will get you some coffee. Don't worry. We'll talk about that later.
I'll tell you what. Don't
What's
give me the
up?
coffee. Don't give me the coffee, and we'll work on me going to get it over there.
Consider it done. Shit. Hell yeah. That's what's up. What's up, y'all? I cannot see the comments. I am restarting my machine. It doesn't like America, apparently.
Okay. Yeah.
But the internet's fine. Um,
How was the trip?
the trip was dope. It was fun. It was quiet. Uneventful,
Good.
but eventful at the same time, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, you had to
Like
go.
I'm satisfied with the time I spent and I'm grateful for it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like it was weird, you know, that you asked. I can elaborate a little bit. Like the new year, like 23 went out differently for me anyway. Then like it hasn't been a New Year's like that in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
to where it was uneventful, but there's like this sense among us all stirring, right? That something's gonna happen. And it's just me and my wife. We hid from the kids. Not like that, but like just us two for a little minute. So we have some administrative type stuff to do,
Yeah.
the case. And we was just vibing.
That's good.
Like, didn't even turn up. Straight up old people, New Year's Eve. But
we haven't done that in a long
yeah,
time. For
I'm
us,
cool.
it's
Well, my mantra, right?
Thank you, Mandy.
What, like, I asked Devin this shit, and I said, well, I'm gonna adopt it as one of my things that I repeat to myself, is because he had asked me for something, and I was being a punk, and I was like, well, young man, what has been your contribution to the world today? And I stopped, and I was like, well, damn, I could say the same for myself. So I did. And bro, it's funny how, like, when you say anecdotal stuff with only the surface meaning of it, without fully analyzing it in any kind of depth, right?
Okay.
And when I did that, like, the voice came in my head. I've told this story since before. And the voice was like, yeah, you could ask yourself, or say the same for yourself. Ask yourself the same shit. And I was like, wow, I think I called you tripping, bro. I did. That was one of the last times we shot the breeze for a hot minute. Amidst all the chaos of me trying to finish out the year for Warrior Planet Tanks, planning the trip, that was last minute, and boom, boom, bam, bam. And then Lily, thank you, Lily, if you watch this, getting ready for her, all that. But I called you, I was spazzing out. I was like, bro, if you really think about that, your contribution, right, to the world, but selflessly. And I'm not even on that missionary shit. I don't want you teasing me, Jorge. I'm serious. But on the strength of, like, can you contribute to the world? And if so, just being one person, right? And I don't say that lightly. Like, life is a gift. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm saying, like, the impact, right? How in the hell would you even go about contributing to the world
Easy.
without being selfish? How?
Easy.
Well,
You and I can easily do it.
Elaborate then, my friend. Please do. This is why I pose these questions, Jorge.
It's real easy. The way we contribute is by not creating more assholes. That's it.
I've said that before. I told this to my oldest son. Both of my sons, my older two sons, they're me on different days, right?
Okay.
And he was in middle school, I believe, headed toward high school, just beginning high school. And he the Huey P. Newton version of me, like, the advocate. Hell no, that's some bullshit. I don't like bullies. Like, bleeding heart. He an Aries, man. So he was spazzing out about something that he had saw or consumed on media or some kind of way. It came across his foray, and he was going on about it. And begrudgingly, I did what was responsible, and I said what you just said, you know. And I teach my boys, all my babies, in analogies that they can understand, parables, right? And I tell them, I say, remember, everything is connected. Your choices, they're stones. When you throw them, the ripples affect everything. They start out small, but everything is a wave. It's a frequency. There's only three things, vibration, sound, and light. And you have to choose wisely how the choices you make, the stones you throw, how those ripples, how they affect things. There's no cause that you necessarily need to champion. There's nothing new, Everything that's done has been done under the sun. The best you can do is be a good person, mind your business, and don't contribute to the effery that already exists. There's plenty of jerks out there. Don't be one. And that was them. That was that decade or so ago. It's evolved now to where uh, Devin, my 18-year-old, that's what I shared with y'all when I told him suffering, right? It's not intrinsic in the model of creation, which is why we talk about sustainability so much, me and you, big bro, and like stating your purpose and shit, right? But I tell him, I said, look, being a POS, a piece of you know what, that's a choice, my friend.
Yep.
I said, look, we spent damn near a month and some change in La Campo con mamá, la doña, his stepmom, my wife, the family. We were out there. And I said, tell me, son, did you see anyone who was poor? Then he thought about it. And he said, no. He was hesitant. I said, well, let me rephrase it. I said, did you feel as though you needed anything? It was like, no. I said, did you see any sad people? He was like, no. I said, he was like, no, it was awesome. I loved it. I said, yeah, it was full of sounds and light and smelled like food and seasonings and just everything going on. I said, now look, those people are not poor. And I say those people, us, because I grew up that way. Like you know, I'm immaterial, but I like nice shit. I said, we changed over here. Like from my country raising, I said, people choose to chase money. They choose to want these material things and become slaves to them. All of these things, that's not intrinsic in the model because everything we need, we already have. That's not to say that technology is bad, and I'm not even going down that road, but I do want to clarify because that's the new thing too this year is becoming more impeccable with my words on the strength of giving people their free will and choice to interpret what I say as they will, but doing my diligence to leave as much room for error and misinterpretation as possible. That's where I'm at. So that's what I told my son. Being a POS is a choice. It's a choice. You don't necessarily have to be one. Suffering, like, I'm gonna tick some people off, but I told them about the pathway to enlightenment, the enlightened one, but the mortal prince that it was based off of, I don't want to really be offensive, but I will say his name, Siddhartha. And I was telling him that story, and I was turned up. I ain't even gonna lie. I was coming off of the expo, and we was on some, like, this is Sparta type, texting, Wolf of Wall Street, sang the song, boom, boom, like, let's get it. So I told him about this story when I was telling him, being a piece of crap is a choice, right? And I was like, so he was born into the lap of luxury and wealth, and wanted for nothing. And then he said, how can I sit up here rich, doing good, when all the peeps, all the brethren is outside suffering? And then he went outside in the bushes and stripped himself of his heirloom and sat under a tree. I questioned it. I argued it. And I told my son very candidly, I said, I don't think that's the way. It's beautiful. I understand it. Like, for my limited, like where I'm at right now, with the hope, it'll grow, it'll change, right? That's the hope. But I was like, look, no. I said, that's kind of low-key selfish too. Peep game. What if, instead of being like, no, it's too much suffering, why not be like, outsource? Help the homies get to where you at. And be like, yo, Pops, I love you, but not this way. I don't agree with it. But because I do love you, and because I am a man, and because I do stand on business, I'm not going to betray you. But I have courage enough to tell you that not if, but when you die, I'm doing things different. Until then, I'm going to respect you. And I'm going to follow how it needs to be followed. And then Pops, being a man already too, because he a king, this bloodline type stuff is, in here. Pop's gonna be like, no, you ain't, no. I'm finna change the shit now. Because it's my legacy that you gotta uphold. So you coming to me from a place of love and responsibility, standing on business, telling me this, just saying, this is the way of men. And this is how me and my son, we chop it up like this, bro. Like, that's how we talk. And I was like, it's just a scenario. That's what I told him. I was like, it's just a scenario, son. It could be wrong. It could be right. But we're talking about things universal, son. There is no such thing as wrong or right or good or bad. Only true and untrue. That's it. Therefore, again, being a piece of shit is a choice. And then I was like, get the hell out of here. Because I don't do the mushy stuff. But that's where I'm at. Just, it's a choice. What do you think?
I don't know. I think my take on all of this, or what I tell my kids, is look, as long as you're not a burden on society, and and you're respectful and kind to people, that's it. That's all I expect.
That's it.
Those, it's real simple. You don't have, anything else that you accomplish or do, that's totally up to you. But if if the only thing I was able to teach you while you were still here, or while I'm still here, is like I said, just be kind. I mean, you don't have to, be kind and do what you have to do to stay ahead, but don't be a burden on society. We already have too many people that are willing to do that.
Hmm.
And so, you got to be accountable for the things that you do. Hey, what's up, Drew?
Well,
So it's, it's not as philosophical as what you were saying. In my opinion, I think it's just a lot simpler, but I tend to live by a simple life. So
yeah, I mean, philosophy is simple, though, ain't it?
no,
You don't think so?
no, people make it more complicated than it needs to be. People like to elaborate on things that don't need to elaborate on. Really, I don't like it because people get too winded when they try to be philosophical. Where they try to express.
That makes sense. I like to make sure that things are absorbed down to the molecular level. Just things of that nature.
I'm a simple person, man. Give it to me straight, get to the point. Tell me what you need to tell me, and let's move on. There's other stuff that needs to get done. I don't have an hour to sit around and you trying to explain a very simple concept to me because you want to expand on it and squeeze every single ounce of it. Not me. I'm more practical.
To each his own.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit of everything.
Yep.
Well, so what we got? I'm waiting on my machine to come up so I can look at the comments and stuff. But
yeah, no, I was basically, because we really haven't had an opportunity to sit down and really talk. I kind of just made an assumption as to what we could basically do this stream, because I know you were going to be cutting it real close with your timing and stuff like that. So basically,
I love it.
Yeah, it was, New Year, new goals. Yeah, New Year, new goals. What I was just kind of trying to make time earlier talking about what 2023 really meant to our live stream. Just kind of talking about, we started out the year with sort of an idea of what we were doing, but come around May is when we really hit our stride. It's when everything kind of came together and it's like, this is what we're going to do. And it was amazing to be able to come up with an idea and have it come together and actually be able to fulfill it, because a lot of the times we have ideas, but they never come to fruition. It's just, it stays an idea and things never really line up and work out the way you want them to. And they just stay an idea. But it seemed for us, we were able to not only do that, but actually fulfill what we had kind of said and put on paper and said, oh, it would be great if we could do this. And we were able to pull it off. I mean, that's the one thing. That's why 2023 to me, if you ask me, was it a successful year? Hell yeah, it was. It was more successful than I ever imagined it to be. With some of the guests that we had on, some of the things that we were able to accomplish. Well, shit, you finished off the year with a bang. You got to get involved with this new project that came to Houston. Have become, integral in that, and hopefully that continues to grow as 2024 rolls around. So
yeah,
I can hear myself. You got to mute one of them.
Out.
Probably get off your phone and come back on the laptop. But yeah, that was, I don't know if can you still hear me? Okay. So that was kind of what was going on. It's just, and then I was about to start getting into what we expect to accomplish for 2024. Because again, that's kind of the goals for this year. So I'll wait for you to get up here though, so that we can both talk about it. Ready for neither. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Steve's still working out his issues, but yeah, for 2024, like I said, I think a big part of it is to be able to continue to bring some of these people that have a lot of knowledge and experience within, you know, different things within the hobby. For us, we've kind of gone down the idea of you know, kind of going out into your own backyard, taking a look at what's available there. One of the ones that I really excited to see doing that is Vibes Aquatics. Lately he's been on this kick where he's going out to his local waterways, and you know, I can see that he's getting a little bit more excited because he's starting to, you know, go see what's out there in nature and finding you know, things that are out there and bringing them back, and so that is always really really neat. um Kind of what Dr. Anthony does at a larger scale. You know, he's out there in the Amazon doing the same thing, going out, researching, seeing what's out there, what's new, what hasn't been discovered. You never know what you're going to find. A lot of people think, make the assumption that everything that let's see, hold on, what's up? I can't hear you. You want me to bring you up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you? Did you not log in like you normally do?
Yeah. I'm back on my phone. I'm leaving well enough alone. I don't know. I'll troubleshoot my machine later. On with the show. I'm sorry, you guys.
That's okay.
Everything you said is on point. The year finished great, starting great. So after this,
starting glitchy.
No, not at all. This is the year of the dragon.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's a year to grow for some people. So
what's the year of being here on time?
We shall see. It's 9 year, so it would be next year.
All right,
we'll see. You and your jokes.
Well, I got to give you shit somehow.
I do appreciate the love. I had a conversation with this veteran guy in the airport in Santiago on the way home, and we were talking about that. He was from Georgia, and he crazy army fucker like you, real cool dude, man. But like y'all got that humor about y'all. It's like I fucking hate you, but I don't want nobody else. I don't want nobody else in my little group when we got So it's like that.
When you get attached to a tanker unit, and they got to go qualify, and you're the radio guy, so all you got to do is sit around and wait till something breaks so you can go repair it.
Yeah.
All there is infinite amount of time to sit down and talk trash to each other.
Yes, that's what we know.
To make the time go by, because you know, when I was in, there was no such thing as cell phones and being on YouTube and watching videos. None of that stuff. We had portable DVD players that had a screen that you could flip up, but you could only bring so many DVDs before you had seen everything that was on there, and you know.
I'm not going to start talking about stuff like that because it's not right.
Yeah, you know, there was none of this
Movies.
Portable video games, none of that shit. You know, well, there was a Game Boy, but what are you gonna do? Play Tetris all day?
Man, I read books, bruh. And then they had them little they started getting them little digital. It come like with some headphones and stuff. Them you can listen to them. You get them from the chaplain, but or the DAV donate a shitload to us when we are going deployment. That was cool, but I was able to go back to Robert Pet. So it's the pet store that I
that hasn't dropped yet, has it?
No.
Okay.
It's,
Okay. I
it,
thought maybe I had
yeah.
missed it or.
No, it has not. I saw the title to this, and it was nice. And it motivated me. I was like, okay. So I posted a few little things on my community page, and then also the link to this show. And then, all the machines started acting stupid, and I was across the street talking to my neighbor because I had seen him cleaning his fish tank a couple times before, but I never said nothing. But they're really nice. So after this, I will premiere that video. It's short for me. It's only like 20 minutes. There's a little bit of everything in it. It's a full tour, and I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but I get to nerd out about everything that we have talked about the whole freaking year 23, bro. Full circle. In vivo. When you hear those words, in vivo, you'll know you're at the park. So we're going to do that. The pen traveled the Pseudomogul Cien Dorsalis that I got from Lily.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, it's amazing how little bitty things start stuff, right? So I'm in my apartment and I'm trying to get my brain on La República time because they like damn near 2 hours ahead of us. I think, yeah, they 2 hours ahead of us, right? So I was up and I was taking advantage of coffee and just like, you know, not having to do nothing. But I put my pen that right like on my lapel of my bathrobe. And it went everywhere with me. But like I was looking at it while I was drinking my coffee, and I was like, like I started thinking. And then my wife shows me this post that Javier made on his Instagram. He was in the mangroves. He was barefooted.
Yeah.
He had the camera in the water. He was filming natives. The seed that was planted around this time-ish last year because of you and your shit it's growing, bro. It's already starting to.
You know what?
So
I don't think it's growing. I think it's always been there.
it's
We
always
just kind of, the only thing that I think we've done is just kind of brought a little bit of attention to it
showing
so that
fruit,
people
bro.
don't forget
Yeah.
that, how many times as a kid growing up did you not look into a ditch, a creek, anything, just trying to see what was in it? I,
See what I'm
I
saying?
guarantee you, almost everybody in this chat here at one point or another growing up, or even as adults now, we still
Right.
will go up to the edge and look in and see what's in here, out of curiosity. But I just think that's goes hand in hand with what we do with the hobby. I mean,
But the way that it came across me, right? I'm not on the phone because I took your advice. You know, turned
which
off
one?
everything.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, yeah. It's come on, demasiado consejo. You gave me like 3 advices, bro. But just turn all that shit off. Turn your brain off. Chill out and spend time with your family. Take a break. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't. And I did that. So no death scrolling, no nothing. As y'all, it wasn't a whole lot of posting this time around.
Yeah.
Because of that, I'm explaining. 12:55, make a wish. So mi amor, ya si this is mirando, te amo. Let's redo that. It's 55. So my wife showed me the shit. She was like, "Hey, man, look." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Mira." I was like, "Okay." She was like, "Tú no ves?" I was like, "I don't see what." She was like, "¿Dónde está?" And I was like, "Oh, why? Yeah, okay, I see." And like stuff started clicking. And I was like, "Well, I'll be damned. It always has been there. You're absolutely right. What I'm saying is growing is the mentality, what you just said, the light, the awareness. It's okay. We want to see it. Show it. Please show more. Be careful in doing so, but yeah, go outside. Pick up some trash while you're out there too, please. So that was dope. And then from there, because originally I hadn't planned on filming the pet store. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
porque ya hay otros asuntos para arreglando. But I was like, well, shit, I'm here. Got something. Because I wasn't able to shoot down there, unfortunately. But if y'all can, show Javier some love on his channel, how y'all can, because he got stuff going on. Go check him
All
out. There you go.
right. For those of you, because I know, again, Steve always works on the assumption everybody knows.
Well, I didn't want to throw it out there like that. I was just going to show them some love and let them come to their own conclusions without trying to fear porn and shit.
Well, no, but it's important because everybody seems to think that the biggest YouTubers are English speaking YouTubers, and they're really not.
They're not.
The biggest YouTubers happen to speak Spanish. And
gentleman.
So, and a lot of people don't ever discover these guys, but Javier is a young man. Shit, I'm old because I get to use that term literally.
Yeah. Oh.
And that he came, I discovered him, believe it or not, off of a news episode, a story that they were running on Telemundo.
Yeah,
I think Telemundo.
Uno de los dos quizás.
Yeah, and this was maybe about 8 years ago, somewhere around there.
13.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, and basically what it was this young. Now he's a little bit older, but when he started, his story goes that in the Dominican Republic, one of the pastimes, like in some of the other cultures, is you have competitive, I guess, games or events.
Pelea. That's what they
yeah. But some cultures will do, dog fighting, some will do cockfighting, some will do, but in the DR, what they do is they take splendid bettas and they fight them for, for sporting. That's what they do. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's, everybody can form their own opinion about that, but that's what's going on there. So, being a resourceful young man and trying to become an entrepreneur, he decides to go on and start breeding bettas. That's what he was doing. And so the story became, I guess, public because he grew so quick. It all started with something that he was going to do for his community.
Mm-hmm.
And it quickly, his reputation grew out there that he was breeding some very nice bettas. And I guess, had kind of cracked the code on breeding the bettas, that he was successfully being able to breed them at a very fast rate. That I guess he kind of became famous within the island as breeding a very particular strain, isn't it, of
Oh,
bettas?
I'm just sitting up here smiling, listening to you.
Now, is this a wild type or is this a line that he created?
Bro, holy shit. So, yes, let me give y'all context so you can't talk crap no more. All right? You're sick of it. I'm sorry, babies. I'm sorry, kids. So, while I was filming the store, I went over there and talked about that. There is a line. It's called Pitbull. Beta Pitbull. Okay. It is a splendid, but this is blinds. If you know anything about raising stuff for game, for sport, be it dogs, roosters, whatever, these lines are meticulously cared for to the point. This is probably one of the closest representations of a wild type splendens that you will see in captivity. And it's been kept clean, clean as shit. I got footage and stuff. It's the premiere after this. So Javier, like Jorge was saying, he's good at breeding them, and he is extremely knowledgeable. There is a history with the Beta Splendens and the Dominican Republic. They were brought in to certain areas and released as a form of dengue control, mosquito and eradication, vector control. So you have to understand the DR is, it's not a poor country, but they don't have the luxury to just be keeping fish tanks like that. That's not necessarily the case. So I bring that up for you guys to understand the intimacy of it. I'm not trying to stretch it out. It's something that they could get out of a ditch that was accessible to them, that they were able to extract and cultivate. And for whatever the reasoning behind why do any of us keep the aquariums we have? The hobby gained another facet. And it's like Jorge said, they just don't speak English. But that does not mean that legions of them do not exist. Oh, quite the contrary. So there's this love for these fish because these fish saved lives. You see what I'm saying? And I'm doing this because I'm being careful because I know how people are. Okay? We're not here to shed light on the negativity or nonsense. I mean, at the end of the day, every betta that is swimming in captivity right now only exists because some kids saw them in their natural habitat beating the piss out of each other and decided to take some home. So let's leave that out of that. I don't want to be attached to any of that nonsense. Now that's out of the way. It's a love. They saved lives. Think about that. The government brought some fish in, turned them loose. They did what they do, eat mosquitoes and have babies. And then less people became sick with dengue, which is gnarly to say the least. Hell, even every time I go over there, I be paranoid the first the minute I get back home because it's mosquitoes everywhere, and it's one of them things that it's there. The environment favors that particular bug growing. You feel me? So they're just food for thought. I got to do that, and I got some good footage for y'all on that.
Well, the thing about him is that, like I said, um, he figured out that I guess there was a way for him to be able to find an income for his family. So he started not only breeding bettas, but he does goldfish.
Yep.
And the other thing that I thought was really, really interesting is for such a young person, he when he hardly does talk about it, he does once in a while, but he's trying to breed catfish in captivity to try to feed his community.
Yes, he is.
And that's one of the things that he's you know most people with that sort of recognition on social media would have already moved out and gone on to do some other stuff. And he has not left his community at all.
Mm-mm.
On the contrary, he's always trying to find ways to improve the community around him. And that's the one thing that people don't really give him a lot of credit for doing. And because he's always he's I mean he's his whole business is really catered to try to uplift his community.
That's a nice fancy new microphone you got there, Jorge. I rather like it. Please pass my compliments on to your little ones that got it for you.
Yeah, thank you. They did me good.
I had to deflect because you was making me mushy. The universe is universing again. Not one thing that you said is not covered in this video that I'll premiering after we get done, to include the catfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the reason behind it is because he knows that's a source of subsistence for his community, so that they're not, so that they have in any event be able to have a way to feed themselves even during lean times. So it's amazing.
It's
It's
not.
really admirable what he's been able to do. And I really admired that he's not only using his recognition on social media for his own gain, but he's actually doing it for his community.
And I'm gonna look, I can say this because I pulled up and he good people, man. You know, when you meet people,
Yeah.
like on some warrior, like on some Viking type shit. We gotta know, and we gotta know fast. He good people, man. Like in his heart.
Well,
Dude.
Here's the thing, and this is what I've always have told my peers, my friends, people that ask me. The only thing you can, how do you do this? This whole social media stuff. Don't try to be a character, because trying to be a character is something that's very hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave you a whole lot of room for growth. If you're trying to be a personality and a character, you unintentionally pigeonhole yourself into whatever it is you're trying to create. And one of the things that you'll find out, for those of you that do watch his videos, talking about Javier, who you see on camera is exactly who you're going to see off camera, which is what I've always tried to be. Who you see on camera right now is the same person you're going to meet.
Yep.
When you get to meet me. Same thing with Steve.
Bro.
Same thing with Steve. And it's none of this is a gimmick. None of this is a game. This is who we are. It's our personalities. There's nothing easier to be than to be yourself.
Look, I pulled up me, little homie, mi hermano, my old lady, the girls, and my son. And we drove all the way from Santiago de los Caballeros. If you want to Google it, it's in the north part of the DR, okay? And Javier is in Santo Domingo. It's the south, completely whole other end of the island. But we have been chopping it up and on the gram, really on WhatsApp, and trying to just see when we could link up when we was gonna be able to pull everything off. And we pulled up, me, camera, and Presidente in hand. Like everybody jump out, and we in the barrio, all right? The cut, the hood, however you want to call it. And it's like when you walk in church late, for those of y'all who have experienced that. I ain't been to church in a minute, but you open the door and everything stop and they be like, and you know, like, who is you? And that's what happened. But then Javier had came outside to meet us. He was walking down the street and he was like, hey, hey. And I seen him and I chunked the deuce like that. And then as soon as they seen him chunk the deuce at me, and he was like, oh, they cool. Everything just like went back to normal. You feel me? Chunk some bread to wash the car. You know what I'm saying? And was welcome with nothing but love and fucking hospitality, bro. Showed us everything. And the cool part about it is we the same everywhere, bro. Right? That love, that passion, that able-to-ness to just be like, man, you know, you take that mail and you put his ass in his own bucket, right? And then you throw the leaves in there. And then you know, you take that jar and you sit it over there on that side. But what I do is, you know, like that. And it's the same everywhere. And that's the beauty of it. I'm getting turned up. But that's how we was met. We was welcome with that. And then, like me, bro, you know how you be wanting to do stuff, I should say. You be wanting to do stuff, but then you be like, for whatever reason, even though you know it probably will work, because it ain't too far from nothing you already doing. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But then you see somebody else not only doing that specifically, but they done went even crazier with it. And it's like, I knew it. And I was getting that the whole time. You feel me? Like, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Those are priceless. Go ahead.
One of the things that I really love about his channel is, I don't know why we get so caught up with these arguments here in the United States about you need to do this, you need to do that. They, you know, fish have to have this, have to have that. You go watch somebody that's really doing it, you know, for reals. A lot of the stuff that we are arguing about and going back and forth is just stupid, because he's a perfect example of that's not necessarily true. You don't need to have the latest and greatest gadgets out there. You don't need to have the best food. Well, he does have the best food, ironically, because he feeds a lot of natural stuff.
Yep. And he makes his own. He cooked for them fish.
Yeah. So, like, you know, it's to me, it's really interesting to be able to see how people are doing the hobby in different parts of the world, and how different it is from what we do, because we get caught up so much on flexing, on social status, on brands, marketing. We buy into a lot of the marketing, and we're willing to die on these stupid marketing hills, where it's, you have to use this product, you have to use this brand, and you know, you have to use this filter because this is the best filter. You start watching how people are doing this at a massive scale, and none of that comes into play. None of it.
It's applicable. And we said this on the show with Lily, right? The nuances of coming into this. First of all, we forget sometimes that it's a hobby. Social media has made that a bit more prevalent. But to your point, to substantiate your point, not that it needs it, it is a hobby, but there's no cut and dry because there's so many different variables and factors of where you're at, how you know, there's so much, which is why, because it's a hobby, we can get together, we can bump heads, and we have that freedom to tweak and peak it to our own application. And I think that part right there, Jorge, that's where the arguing comes from, right? The lack of keeping that in the forefront. But it goes back to what we always say. State your purpose. What the hell you want? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, I eat fish. Fish eat fish. I always laugh now when these rhetorical things come up. Ever since we had that interview with Yvonne.
Yeah.
Because he says something that makes me laugh. So what? Man, you know? Okay, you got a fish tank. So it's just that. But there's a world out there in a world. And you can go in your backyard and find some water. And there's life in it. And how you gonna protect something and claim it as yours and love it and cherish it and value it as you should if you don't know it's there? And to see this reverence going to all things as it should, it's a good feeling, man.
Yeah. And just to on Mandy's point there is it's what bothers me is when they try to get on people's case because they're not doing the in their opinion keeping in the best quality or situation of a fish. You know, it's those are look real simple. Like this whole argument that was running rapid at the beginning of last year was water changes. You know that whole those are the type of things that you know, and then you get some people that are totally stuck, like you have the whole canister group.
Choose not to engage.
You know, they just want, they only believe that you have to use that sort of type of filtration because that's the best. You know, that's where my rub comes in, because why are you getting on somebody that's having success, is being able to breed their fish, it's being able to provide a quality life for those fish, just because they're not buying into what the market says that they need to do? That's my my gripe.
You really want the answer?
No, I'm not. I wasn't looking for an answer. I'm just telling you what bothers me when I talk about, you know, the marketing and stuff like that. Because
don't bother you anymore.
What's that?
Don't let it bother you anymore.
Oh no. I'm just saying that's the stuff that I don't understand why people get so caught up in social media. You know, like this content that people were willing to fight these battles on social media over stuff that is nonsense. Well, and the reason I say nonsense is sorry,
nothing else. I mean, I ain't trying to jab at nobody, but you know, work in progress. That's what you say, right? Because you're supposed to learn and grow and get better at everything in life. Cool. I have the same irks as you do. I will not engage, but I will say you have reason to feel the way that you do. I am thankful though that the internet provides us an opportunity, just like the other people that irk us, to say, no, I don't feel as though it's this way. What do you think? And because we got the people that's watching us, that's love, bro. And it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess for me, it's more of this where people will come at somebody, and don't get me wrong, if I see something that I know is a problem. For example, somebody's is showing their fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "Oh yeah, I can run this without a heater."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that because that is potentially true. But I look in there and your fish are stressed out, full of ick, because it's the situation is not ideal for them. They're stressed out because that's really, you know, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, yeah, well, maybe you do need to run or raise the temperature overall, the ambient temperature, so that because the fish are obviously stressed out, something's not going right. So you need to fix that because then that at that point you're just being abusive to the fish. But same scenario,
You
same
said it.
scenario. You're showing me an ice chest, a foam ice chest, and you have your fish in there, and your fish look great. They're healthy.
No
They're
quality.
reproducing. I'm not gonna say shit because you're doing it right. You know, you're doing it different than I am, but you're pulling it off and you're having great success. Just because it's not in the vessel that I consider, in my opinion, to be the best vessel, doesn't mean that that's wrong. So that's what I get at. When people get in that situation, what automatically they don't recognize what looks like what they're doing, that they automatically assume it's wrong. Those are the people that I have a problem with.
No, there's reason. I'm not entertaining it. We can talk about it here. It's a hobby. State your purpose. Find your application. You know, don't get the information effed up with how you feel about me. Have a Coke and a smile and keep it pushing. You feel how you want to feel about me. You know what I'm saying? But empirical data is empirical data, my loves. It is what it is. But I mean, come on. It's hollow, Jorge. They have nothing else. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
You know? Moving forward, however, this is the hobby. That's that. It can be what it is, and it is okay. However, here, what are we doing? We are cultivating a space where respect is intrinsic and reciprocal, where objectivity is the virtue that is championed, and where science is science. Ain't nobody here to hurt nobody. Obviously, you should use your own discretion to, you know, determine people's character and allow them to know of you what you choose. But past that, I'm like, big homie, Yvonne, you got fish tanks. So let's go get some passport stamps.
Yeah.
Go make some money for some charity. Speaking of which, new year, new things. And I've been racking my brain on how to do this, and I still am. But I have an accurate number. So it will be $1,500 for 1 year, right?
Okay.
To send the kids to Dr. Anthony's thing in Peru.
Yeah, that's for a 3-week internship or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
or at least 3 weeks. I think it's what they have to commit, at least 3 weeks.
Yeah. So all I have to figure out is how fast some damn attorneys can work. A, si Dios quiere. And B, how I'm going to donate $1,500 a month.
A month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wrote the numbers down when Dr. Tony was on the show, and I said I will think about it, and I did, and that's what it is. It's $1,500 a month, which is it's doable. So.
Oh, you mean from your business side of it, or what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. Everything that I do, have done, will do, it's all you know that shit. It's all me. Like I'm going broke for this shit. I don't care. It's like I was I told you I was clowning with Drew one time. I was over there in the damn DR. And I was like, man, forget what you talking about. I'm the damn YouTube boy. I get malaria for this shit. Like, I'm true to it. And then I took my ass out in the jungle. So, yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. The universal universe, bro. I'm not concerned. I'm actually kind of like humbled, and it's that feeling of driving in the rain at night with your old lady and kids in the car. You know you good. You know you good. Because you got precious cargo on board. However, there's this healthy anxiety, a little pressure, just to keep you honest. So you don't swerve because it's raining and it's dark and you have to be a little more vigilant than normally. That's all. So that's where I'm at. Other than that, I ain't worried about it. Like, this is folding out like it's supposed to. I'm just going to follow orders and try not to derelict too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think with the nature, right? Moving forward this year, the kids, the jungle, cool. Natives, cool.
So going back to that whole sponsoring, how
Yeah.
many? Because I know Dr. Anthony says that their facility is only capable of holding maybe 9 people at once,
Yeah.
and that's triple stacking
Right.
people in a room. But
So-
realistically, he said they're really set up for 2 people.
2.
So 6 people is really what I think what he had mentioned. That
Yeah, it was 6.
so you want to gather
Notebook.
a group of 6 students that you can potentially sponsor and have their way paid down there to go to the research center. Is that what the goal is?
Yep.
Okay.
That is the goal.
All right.
And
So why don't we try to do this instead?
build a fundraiser. I'm trying to find a
Well,
notebook.
yeah, no, not necessarily build a fundraiser, or we can do stuff potentially to raise funds for this, but I'm thinking 2 students.
Okay.
I think that should be our goal. Obviously, anything above and beyond that is absolutely phenomenal. But if we could get 2 students, or maybe just 2 people, and the reason I say 2 people is because I don't know how many inner city students would be able to go by themselves if they've never been outside of their city. So they might feel a little bit more comfortable if either a sibling or an adult were to accompany them. That's why I'm thinking 2.
I agree. As a chaperone.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, or because I go back to thinking when I was in high school, I don't know if I would have gone somewhere like Peru by myself. I would probably go if some other classmate or a relative or a chaperone, like you called it, were to go with me, then I would feel a little bit more comfortable, especially
Oh hell
because
yeah, bro! You don't go in the field without no battle buddy, bro.
no, I know, and there'll be people there anyways. So
Yeah,
that's not the case. But I'm just saying, as a first time traveler, because more than likely the student that you select, because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to give an opportunity to a child that would probably never be able to do that unless somebody was willing to help them out.
right.
So
That's
because
it.
because
Oh,
of means because it means they wouldn't be able to do it.
right.
So you're trying to create an opportunity, but I think it's more feasible if we look at it as they might need somebody to go with them. So we figure if trying to raise money to pay for two passages to be able to get down to Peru and be able to come back. I think that's what the goal should be that we strive for in 2024. Um, what
Right.
happens after that and what it grows into, that's out of our hands. But I think if we start off with, because you got to start somewhere. So
It's already
I agree. It'd be awesome if a year from now we could send an entire group of students and be able to fund them. That would be phenomenal.
yeah. I'm gonna
But
reconnect.
yeah, but I think we start with the first step is let's try to fund a way for two people, because more than likely they're going to need somebody to go with them, especially being the very first time. And I think that's relatively doable, especially now that we're just beginning of the year. Now, you and I are going to have to come up with creative ways to be able to do some fundraising. Um, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I I don't feel that this is necessarily should be cutting into your profits of your business, because any business that's, whether it's their first year or trying to make a comeback, there's a lot of expenses to get off the ground. So I don't think this is the right year for you to try to. You're muted. You're muted, Steve. Something happened that I can't hear you. Say something. Can't hear you. No, not yet. What did you do? Is it where did he go? Okay. Where Well, anyways, this would be a great opportunity to, and I'll wait for Steve to come back because he must be having issues again with his phone. So the idea, it would be really neat if we can afford that experience to young impressionable minds. Uh, and now the other thing that I guess Steve and I would have to figure out is how do we find somebody, one that's interested in doing something like this, and two that makes sense, that it's something that just kind of would line up with whatever it is they're trying to accomplish, and this would be a great experience for them. And that's going to be the challenge, just trying to find somebody usually in the inner cities, because most of these kids are not even thinking about something like this. Most of these kids are more interested in other opportunities. So that also becomes, how do we do the outreach, the awareness? How do we provide more than just the means to get there, but how do we do this to be able to expose this to them? That's the part that we need to figure out, and I think that's going to be even the hardest part, more than trying to raise money, uh, but more of how to create that interest and that curiosity and potential students that would be interested in going down there, especially being more of an urban environment. Because if you're out in the rural and you're getting more exposed to nature, so that kind of would make a little bit more sense. But where's Steve at? Because I know this is something, ever since I've met Steve, this has been his ultimate goal. And it's so funny, he's always talking about how things, the universe be universing. When I first met Steve, I was not even aware of the Amazon Research Center. Um, and I remember him telling me that this has been a goal for him for a very long time. Ever since I've met Steve, that's the one thing that he's always talked about is he's got, like he says, getting babies out there in the jungle.
Yeah.
And there you are. And
I shouldn't have
yeah,
said that.
so I know this here is something that Steve has always talked about doing. So now, and it's interesting because even when he was telling me that, he wasn't sure how this was going to work out or how this could line up. And it's just fate would have it. Almost within a month of Steve sharing this with me, I come across Dr. Anthony in one of the live streams, and as soon as I heard what he was doing, I immediately, in the middle of the stream, sent Steve a text, says, "Hey, you need to watch this." And ever since then, it's always been the goal. It's how do we get students out? I mean, it's faith, because here you have a facility that their sole purpose is to be able to educate and is looking for students to go out there. Steve has been trying to figure out a way to get students to be able to go out into the jungle, not knowing that both of these things were basically in the same universe, parallel to each other. So once we're able to make that connection, it's always been Steve's goal to try to get students to be able to go out there and get their hands dirty and experience nature. So now that we've kind of established a relationship with Dr. Anthony, it just makes perfect sense now that
Yeah.
we move on to Steve's ultimate goal is to be able to get, and not only do it a one-time thing, but I know your ultimate goal, Steve, is to be able to get to a financial situation where your business would probably be able to sponsor a group of students every year to be able to go out there. I know that's your ultimate goal.
And the ultimate goal, of course, having my own.
What was that?
Having my own. You already know.
Yeah.
You say missionary. I say no.
Well, no, your goal is a little bit different, because what you're trying to establish is a situation where the community could use it as a source of revenue.
Yep.
That's what you're trying to do. That's why it's a little bit different. You're not necessarily doing research. You're trying to create an economic
Healthcare.
stream of income for a group, a community
Yeah.
in one of these places. That's what you're trying to do.
It's gonna work. It's already faded.
Yeah.
Every video, or just think about some of the footage I've shown you, Jorge, and you yelled at me and was like, "Fucking, you need to post this." And I'm like, "No, I'm saving it. I'm saving it. Don't say nothing yet, but think about all that footage. It's now. In that is one of the ways that revenue, I think. Well, this is what my idea to use to get more revenue. It's in the works. I did that while I was down there. Like I was sitting up listening to you, bro. It is like I don't even remember how long it's been now. Maybe 2018, maybe 2017. Um, that I got this whole idea to be like, bro, what if? I told you how it all came about.
Yeah.
When my mentor had hooked up this school with some stuff for their 4-H or FFA, one of them, but hooked them up with some stuff to do an aquaponics rig, you know. And I was like, must be nice. You know, I was like, but in the suburbs, I ain't gonna go to this shit. I was like, what the schools that need this shit need to take this shit to St. Peter or like inner city tap or something damn well. Or like it's gotta be some like hood schools and shit with some nerds in there. I mean shit.
Yeah, your goal has always been to try to provide that for somebody who realistically would never be able to get a scholarship, would never be
Yep.
able to, because those programs do not exist in their school. That's
Right.
the reality. If you live in the inner city and you know your school is not connected into any of these science kind of um not curriculums, um these opportunities will never become aware. They'll never know that this exists, and there's a lot of students that could potentially be thinking, oh, you know, it'd be great if I could um be able to visit a place where some of these animals that they talk about in biology exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of always, if I understand this, your vision has always been to provide
Because
that. I know,
fall
because that's
crack, man. They
some
fall
people
through.
are saying, oh, well, go to a college, do this, do that. Yeah, that's, you know, that would
No.
be easy because those students are already geared towards that, and they've already made situations where it's kind of, you know, put them in that situation. But the
Right.
idea is to be able to take a kid who had this wild dream of being able to do this. And reality, here's the truth of all this. Really, what we're talking about is Steve as a kid.
Yep.
That's really what it boils down to. Steve as a kid having that natural curiosity, but knowing that under no immediate circumstances would he have the means to be able to do something like that,
Not a
or
chance.
be able to have a mentor that could provide him that information. Because a lot of this stuff I know is stuff that you've told me that growing up, that has been your natural curiosity that's got you down the path of learning all of this, and you've gone out of your own way to try to self-educate yourself when it
Yeah.
comes to this. So the idea is to find a young man, young lady in the same situation, um, and being able to provide that experience for them.
Yep.
That's kind of like the ultimate goal that Steve would like to be able to accomplish, which is a little bit different than what most people think. Yeah, it would be real easy to go to a college and find a major in, you know, in some of those sciences and say, hey,
Whatever.
we'll pay for you to go down there. You know, yeah, there's plenty of those.
Mm.
The idea is to be able to find that rough diamond that
Don't
hasn't been
say
that hasn't been
yeah.
polished or given that opportunity.
That like exactly that of the fact of like access, availability, right? The the universe be universe. Damn it. That's how this whole thing came about. Like I told you. The conversation with me and my brother, my friend, he mentored me a lot in this. I was talking shit. We the same. Viking blood, you know. I got Adonis blood, man. Charlie Sheen, on the dam. And it went from talking smack to a challenge to another challenge to me and you talking about this right now. He was like, well, hell, if I had access to some inner city schools, I'd gladly donate to them. I said, okay. I think I might know some people. So it's gonna happen. It is fated. It is fated. And look at the pieces. Look at the players, man. Look at Lily. Look at Big Homie in Cali. Corey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Mark. Look at my little bro, white boy Tommy. He had me cracking up. He kept me in good spirits while I was on the trip. Sending me stuff and, you know, making sure I was all right. But look at all these players we got. Look at Big Homie Kenny over in New York. Ryan in Florida, Wild Fish Tanks. Look at what Funk doing. Look at what Drew doing. Look at what Big Homie Watts doing. Big Hank. Look at the players in this. It's chess, not checkers. And like you always say, Jorge, it's about the long game.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was thinking, I was watching this comment here that Rachel put up. What social media was good, and I started immediately. You know how I do. I look at stuff and I start thinking it. And here's where I think this makes sense, and it's something that we need to talk to Dr. Anthony. I don't know if he's still here or not, but he already has students from his university that go down there.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't we make it sort of an outreach that he has his students document the day-to-day ongoings of their experience while they're there,
and share it?
Because what better way for somebody of that age that's going through the first time can do like a vlog that they record. Not necessarily, they don't have to post it, and they could give that stuff to Dr. Anthony. He could put it on his website,
mm-hmm.
and then that allows us to be able to use it as a resource also.
Right.
Because now it's one thing to have a grown-ass man like me try to talk to a 18-year-old and tell them what the experience could be like, but it's very different if a peer who's of the same age being able to tell them, hey, look, I'm doing it, I'm down here, all that stuff. I think it would just make
right.
it would just be easier that way. It would make more sense. Again,
I'm here for
our age gap, the terminology that we use is a little different, even though we understand. I mean, imagine me trying to talk like an 18-year-old and trying to explain to him why this would be a really neat situation. It's not going to fly. I'm going to look like, what the hell are you doing, you old geezer?
Bro, you gotta run your own lingo. Stay in your lane.
Exactly.
I'm not.
So
I don't even the shit that they say. Same words, different meanings for my era in, youthful effervescence.
And more than anything else is the perspective, because you and I could go down there, even if we were staying down there, what we would record and share is going to be totally different than an 18-year-old being there for the first time.
Right.
There might be things where we just take for granted because we know that's the way it is.
Right.
Whereas a younger person who has less experience, less life experience than we've had, that might be a big deal for them or not.
A prime example. I will show you something. I will be back. Excuse me. Go ahead. But keep going on there. Watch this.
So I'm thinking that's where we I guess it would be those info vid. That's not an info. That's a horrible description for that. But being able, I guess, a testimonial of young adults that are going down there and sharing their experiences, doing like a little vlog. Most of these kids are already, they're so used to doing stuff on social media that it would just make sense, and you get their perspective where it's,
put that back up, please, so I can give them a shout out. It was Boots to Boots to it had boots in it twice.
Yeah.
Phone, y'all, please forgive me. I can't see any of the comments.
Yeah, that's her name's Rachel.
Boots, cats,
Boots Cats, Boots Cats.
boots, cats, boots, cat. Oh well, damn! There's a cat with boots on it. That's fine. So, thank you for that comment. Universing again.
Yes, Mandy.
The last,
Infotainment logs.
I don't know, 3-4 episodes, finishing at 23.
Uh-huh.
We started talking about this, and Boots Cats. Her comment is perfect example of this, of making a place where we can come every other Saturday, pay all the money because people don't know how to pick up trash and shit, rent the little civic center, and get our hobby on. It's recorded. Everything is stricken to the record, so we don't have to remember nothing. You can rewind it and go, no, this is what you said. Timestamp and everything. More importantly, the social media part is what got me, because I have been saying this for the longest, and I didn't have the words for it, and I said that too. I apologized, for being misinterpreted as angry and all that. It's not the case at all. We're connected to mycelium. We've never been this connected before. And rather than do the other, attack people and all that nonsense, now we can reach out. We are connected. So the suggestion of why not use social media to do it is, it gives more credence to that. And I don't feel like I'm just going on senseless tangents, and that is the case. The internet is the opportunity. Rather than bitch about it, I would say propose a solution. I mean, we keep fish, so it's intrinsic that we are observant. It's intrinsic that we are pragmatic, calculative, and that we know how to manipulate environments and situations to elicit as close to the response we desire as possible. So that's my unprofanity pirate laced way of saying, don't bitch about it, be about it. Don't complain about all the nonsense that's on the internet with fish. Just do it. Don't tell somebody they're wrong. No one likes to hear that. It's about education and understanding. That's it. But thank you for putting that comment up there. I appreciate it. This thing's growing, Jorge.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere. I can't hear you. Hold on. What the? I can't hear you, but I don't know if everybody else can hear you. Something happened with the audio. Hello? Can't hear. Yeah, they can't hear us for some reason. Yeah, it's it can hear Jorge. Oh, okay, it's Steve that we can't hear. I don't know what's been going on for with Steve's situation, but yeah, I was going back to that comment, Rachel. Yeah, I think it's something like that. But it's these are all just ideas that have just recently come together. It's stuff that we would actually have to sit down with Dr. Anthony first of all if it's something that can be done. The other thing is if he would allow us to do it too. So those are things that those are conversations that need to be had. But I don't see on a timer. I don't know. Maybe it's on a timer. But those are things that there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
I was
just
saying thank you to Boots Cats,
Mhm.
and the mycelium. That whole thing, we're connected. It's great, and it's gonna grow. And it's not even about like getting something. It's just making a place. I was talking about that movie. You know that movie where old buddy, uh, fucked around and made a damn baseball pit in the damn cornfield or some shit.
oh, Field of Dreams. Yes.
See, I knew you would say. I was gonna say it had Dances with Wolves in it. Same cat, I think. He was in all the movies back
Kevin
then.
Costner. Yes.
Yeah, that dude. But not even on that old romantically old bullshit with the ethereal music in the background. But on the strength of what Rico said, people always want to wait for somebody else to start doing some shit, then criticize that with no solution in mind, which means at that point you're just being a jerk. And then the people that mean well and trying to do it, they just get tired because it's not reciprocal. Like there's no means to an end. It is well intended, but poorly received, and it drains on you. And rather than get bitter and stop, in this instance, tanking altogether, you just say to hell with it and you stop trying to social on the social. So that gave birth to like this. Y'all don't understand. Y'all just as much a part of this shit. This is the Civic Center. Y'all pulling up is what's giving this shit weight. That's what's giving this shit pressure. And the more people that pull up and the more pressure we get behind this, this is how you start changing the landscape. This is how you start injecting different blood into the system. That's what makes the organism strong. And that's where I'm at with this. Like, what if it was cute and trendy to do da, 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 da. And then I'm sitting up here looking at my pen in Santiago, and my wife's like, babe, mira. And I see the homie Javier outside with some damn cutoffs on and shit, in that pretty mangrove water with them botanicals in it, crystal clear, looking at all the little fish swimming. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could like pause it, and it don't get no better. And it's gonna get more and more and more and more and more. And that's really it. Selfishly, that's about as selfish as I could be if I had to like confess selfishness. That's where it would lie, is making that place for everybody that wasn't there for us, which is why we are here now and feel the way we do. Like I listen to all y'all. I really do. And I think about it. I don't always have an answer. This is what I went to get real quick. You know what this? I know you know what this is.
Yeah, it's a converter.
This is that everyday shit that an 18-year-old that ain't never been out the country would willfully accept on a little
Not converter, an
30-second,
adapter.
45 TikTok. Yeah, like, hey, you want to try? You got to bring. Oh God, that's a lifesaver. Because they get over there and they can't plug up their technology.
Mhm.
Peace be with you all. So it just, bro, that was a damn good point you brought up. And boot cats, that's
Yeah, I think
see, it's a
if
good business.
using social media is a no brainer.
No brainer.
Who we get to document this stuff, I think has to be the same students that are already currently going out there, so they can give their perspective. Because there's no
Right.
way we would ever be able to capture that
No.
as adults.
Nuance. No.
Yeah,
They have that
no.
nuance, that perspective that we don't have. But the most
But
point,
again, these are all good ideas. Again, what are you doing with your mic?
nothing. I
Oh, there
don't
you are. There you
know.
are. There you are. It's because I thought it went silent. No, these are all just good ideas, but that's all they are right now at this point. Unless we talk to Dr. Anthony,
Right.
and unless we figure something out. Now, the other thing is, you're gonna have to set up some type of a scholarship thing.
That's what I was
So
thinking.
any funds that are collected go directly to that, and there's total transparency. There's never going to be a question of what those funds are being done with. That people that are donating to it or contributing to it can have full access and say, okay, I see exactly where the money's at and where it's going. That
That's
has to be,
supposed to work.
what's that?
That's how it's supposed to work.
Yep. Like
Sometimes,
it is, like you're always saying, you got to have receipts.
I mean, unfortunately, there's no honor among thieves, and it was a brash comment. I admit it, but I stand on it. I don't retract it. If you're gonna be a hoe, be a good one. Just saying. It's 202. That's 4. If you know anything about numbers, 4 means standing on business. So I was also born on the 4th. I'm just saying. I've been in numbers heavy, man.
This intrigues me. I thought Renee was in Houston. What does he mean he's in Houston now? Was he traveling out or
I don't know.
isn't he from Houston though?
Yeah. What's up,
Oh,
Renee?
okay.
I ain't gave nobody a shout out. I will apologize again if the thing went out. My machine acting stupid. Apparently it does not like America. And on the phone. I'm on the iPhone. But yeah. No, this is the best anticipated scenario for
Okay.
the first episode of this year with the title that you gave it.
So
Simply
I guess to put a bow on it, what are the goals? The goals are obviously to try to continue to do the progression of where we're going with bringing on quality guest speakers.
substance,
Yeah,
dignity,
the other goal.
dignified. He said, keep making substance, having aquariums and loving nature dignified again, something honorable to do.
And so, and then the other goal is obviously getting a little bit more involved with the expo, which is a Crave Nation Expo, and obviously the third one is going to be to try to raise some funds to try to get to at least 2 people, a student, maybe 2 students, to possibly go out to visit the research center. And again, that one, there's still a lot of that. It's in its infancy stages because we haven't talked to a lot of people yet, but at least the idea is there. Now it's time to do some dialoguing and seeing if it's one, a possibility, 2, if it's something that they're interested in collaborating with us to do, and then 3 is just trying to figure out how we get it done. So I that's kind of, I think those are some pretty ambitious goals for 2024. Let's see how much of that stuff we can check off before the end of the year.
God's Jorge. The
What's
universe
that?
first.
Yeah.
We had some ambitious goals, didn't we? I
Yep.
don't know what that is. I'm breathing. That's what I'm doing. I told my son that if a pigeon can walk around with its head up high, dodging shit and begging for crumbs, You wake up every day. What's your excuse? There's no reason to not seize the day and kick ass in everything you touch. We're human. You're going to get bummed out. Understand it, go through it, own it, then shake that shit off. On to the next one. I think we should be good. What about you?
So do I.
Give shout outs real quick for me and for the homies too. I would love to know who all in here for our first show this year, please. And after that, I'm good.
Oh, you want me to? Okay. We had during the course of here. Wow, I'm gonna do this. I know last night I didn't get to watch the live stream, but for those, this is totally off subject. Nothing that has to do with what we spoke on, but it's just I want to be on record for it because I don't want people to come back and say, "Hey, you didn't say that." I know there's football going on. Playoffs have started. There's a lot of us within the fish community that form part of the fantasy football league, and some of the predictions that were made last night, I guess, on one of the live streams, they were trying to find out who's going to the Super Bowl. So I want to be on record as saying it's going to be Houston and LA. Houston and the Rams. And I really think Houston's going to take it. That I believe in CJ Stroud's and the crew that he's working with. Everybody's cutting them out. He kind of helped me win my fantasy football league. So I got to keep riding with the guy.
No emotions.
I've seen weirder stuff happen. So, everybody is always, it's more often than not that you see the favorites go out first. But I know that's going to not line up with First Class because he's a Browns fan. But, I really do think for some weird reason.
Who's the Ram this year, huh?
I think it's going to be, they're going to surprise you. There's, they have some of the best rookies right now in the league. The Rams have the wide receiver Puka. Yeah. That guy's been a stud, and CJ Stroud. He gave nobody talked about him at the beginning of the season. Nobody, he just came out of nowhere. So
I'm chilling on sports because I'm like stupid, bro. You know how it is. Like there was a point in my life. Not anymore. There was a point in
First Class
where, if they wasn't winning in Mac Brown fashion, better not talk to me. In my house, nowhere. Dogs better not bark. Goddamn fish better not splash too loud. It's gonna be a crawfish bowl. Oh, it's just I was like that. Now I'm a responsible sports fan, and the sports gods have blessed us. Even in this, I think, is a penance and a repayment for the treachery that is the Longhorns leaving the Big 12. I shall never forgive them, ever. Even if we beat A&M for ceaselessly. Yes, the stuff's still in my house, and I have all their memorabilia, even underwear, but I'll never forgive them. After all that, the TV channel and everything, Longhorn, they restructured college football, and then they left what they built to go to the SEC. See what you did bringing up sports?
That's money, dude. It's all money.
I'm a passionate man. Yes, we got to get off of here, bro.
All right.
This was a good show, man. It was good to see you, all BS aside. Hey, let me show you this brand of cigar I got you. Like the lady opened the box of them. And
those Auroras you got last time were excellent, dude.
Yeah. They didn't have no Auroras, and I was
no, that's fine. That's no big deal.
No, she saw like I really wanted something good for you. It's still in the bag. I got it at the end. I'm these bags, bro. These bags keep them fresh. I don't know how, but it's the same one I sent. The other this one is special edition Vega Real. I got another bag like this. I can take it out of this one.
No, that's fine. Don't let it dry out.
No, I won't. You know me. I'm gonna do it the same way I sent the last one to you. You already
Oh, I already smoked those suckers, man.
Yeah, you said that. Well, I know you hit the Aurora. Look, oh, it's a little.
Oh, they're already. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be neat. I've never had that before. So
yeah, this is supposed to be a special edition. Like I'm gonna show you the picture of the box because I took a picture of that too because I know you get a kick like cigars, but
yeah, I'm a big fan of cigar boxes.
Yeah. Well, shit, I got to get it to you before this stupid game so you can smoke it.
All right, man.
All right,
you take care, everybody that joined us today. Thank you very much. And you were saying something.
You didn't do the shout outs. It's 2:11.
Oh,
I won't be giving.
Let me see if I'm not going to have everybody on here though. Well, maybe I do. This is not like YouTube. So right off the bat, we had quite a bit of people actually.
Oh, see?
Yeah, we had Tommy being in the first one. Tommy was the first one here, but then again, that's not surprising. Tommy he's our ride or die guy. And then we had Skipper Aquatics. Thank you.
Curtis.
Muppet 929. Thank you for joining us. Jeffrey was here. Watts. Geek Boy. Danikin Aquatics. Jimmy P. Jeff Kane.
Yeah.
Coral Aquatic Reefs. That's another young man that I've recently started following and watching, and he's doing some pretty interesting things. Coral Works.
Yo.
Let's see. Oh, Boots Cat.
That's cool.
I said one too many Boot Cats. But that's Rachel. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see, who else do we have? Fish Family, thank you, like always, supporting all of us that are creating content here. DJ Guppy Sal, thank you so much for joining us. Skull Aquatics, Curtis. Mike loves Life Aquatics. That's Mike. He dropped in, and let's see. Who else that I don't want to skip it. Oh, Aquaballs, George. Thank you for dropping in and hanging out with us for a while. Danny Aquatics. Aquatics. I don't know if you got an opportunity to watch the live stream I did with him. He's a cool cat out there in Houston too.
That's what's up. Yeah. I haven't watched nothing. I'm not even gonna BS. If I watch,
no, I know you're busy, so
on it.
I know you're busy, and then obviously the great, the only, the Zen Ginger. Mandy, thank you so much for everything you do.
I seen Beers in there.
Yeah.
Popped up on the thing across.
Yeah. Drew was here, Fishy Biz. Adele, a collaboration of curiosities.
Yo.
I think I already said Geek Boy. Amazon Research Center. Dr. Anthony was here with us for a little bit. Vibes Aquatics, Eddie.
Hey, real quick, let me show some love to Vibes too. I had heard you talking about it while my stuff was acting a fool, like early. He doing this thing over there. He doing this damn thing over there, boy. And I was just watching him, and I was laughing my ass off because he had the one video. I'm gonna roast you and show you some love. He had the one little video where he was outside tinkering around with his little pond and shit. And
you didn't see the one where he went into the creek and was collecting fish.
I ain't seen that one yet. Don't spoil it for me. I seen one where he was sitting over there like Hugh Hefner in the grotto, some goddamn well, and he was
it turns out
all stately and shit. So he doing his thing over there.
I think Eddie, I'm really curious with Eddie because he caught some stuff, and I think me and him are going to be connected through the waterways.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be real cool if it is what I think it is that he pulled out.
Oh man. Oh, I want to know the Huck already.
Go watch the video.
Nerd, then yes, let us go. It's 2:50.
Okay, so let me finish up with the hellos before we get
Already.
out of here. Jay, the Nano Aquarium guy, he joined us today too. Fishy
Hey.
Biz, Fishy
Yo.
Biz was here. And let me see, make sure I don't skip anybody. Oh, Big Steve Glassbox Creations, he's out there
Yo.
in Maryland. Thank you for being here with us. And Wi-Fi, thank you. Alex Fathom Aquatics also
Yo.
joined us. Debbie Deb's Aquatic Pets, thank you for joining us today. TN Fishkeeper, I'm assuming he's out of Tennessee.
Yep.
And
From up here.
Renee, obviously Renee, we
See,
can't forget Renee. And first class what is it? First Class Aquatics? First class. I'm trying to see where he's at. I just remembered him. Oh, and then obviously Lydia was here. Mrs. Rollins.
Mirena.
And we're getting down. Yeah, First Class Fish. That's what his handle is.
I give a shout out to my old lady, bro. She a real one. Like, out of all the days that my dumb ass picked to go shoot a YouTube video, I picked our anniversary day.
Oh, please
And
tell me that you remembered it was your anniversary and she didn't have to remind you.
Nah, she had to remind me.
Okay.
I spoiled her. But it was dope. And we just turned it into a family outing and had a beautiful time out of it. So, gracias, mi amor. And with that,
Hey, Berto's, yeah, he just slid in here at the last minute.
already.
Thank you for joining us.
You look, I think he was lurking and shit, and then gonna log in real quick so he get a shout out before we get off. You ain't slick, Berto. What's good? Happy New Year, big homie. Already. But if you ain't got nothing else, I'm good.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, and hopefully we can make this year.
I came home.
Stephen P. Aquatics just slid in here too at the last minute.
Yeah, I came home to some man. I'm gonna send some video text messages, courtesy. Please, because I'm scatterbrained. I will forget as soon as I turn this son bitch off. Please send me a text because I want to see already. Y'all have a blessed weekend, man.
And thank you, everybody. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Already. Peace.